This is the Molus G200 from Zhiyun, and it is a 200 watt bi-color light. But is it just like all the other 200 watt lights in the market? But before we talk about that, if you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Nico. I create videos about content creation gear and how to maximize them. I'm not a professional photographer or videographer. I used to professionally edit at a podcast company, but all the opinions here on this channel is from the perspective of an everyday tech dad. And if you are into those videos, please do highly consider subscribing to the channel. Now, let's get back to this light. Now, just a disclaimer, Zhiyun sent these lights to me, but this is not a sponsored video. They did not tell me what to say, what features to highlight about this light. This is totally my personal review, personal thoughts about the Molus G200. Now, the Molus G200 is a 200 watt bi-color light with a color temperature range of 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin. It has a brightness of 9460 lux on the maximum 200 watts at a distance of 1 meter. Now, the first thing I noticed when I saw this product is that, wow, this is a small 200 watt light. And at first I thought, oh, this might be a very portable light, but no, it's not. This light, the G200, was made more for the studio setting because you need to plug it in. It's not like those other compact lights where either it has an internal battery or has an option to use V-mount batteries for the light. Now, this is what you'll get out of the box. First, you'll get this carrying case where everything that you get is stored here. You also get the actual light, which is this small. Let me take it off the stand. So this is the whole light. It's this thin. Unlike the conventional 200 watt lights where it is definitely much bigger than this. This is it. This is the light. However, this also comes with a control box. And this is because you control this light not on the light. There are no controls here on the actual light. Instead, you have a control box which connects to this light, which for me is a huge advantage. And this is because if you have this light mounted high with other more conventional or traditional lights where the controls are in the light itself and the display, there is no way for you to control the lights unless you have an app. Now, you also could control the Molus G200 with the Zhiyun app, but it has this wherein this could hang in your light stand and it's placed lower than the actual light if it's mounted up high, and you can still have the ability to control this light using this control box. All right. Let me interrupt this video first because I realized while editing that I got distracted with the control box and forgot to finish talking about what's in the box. So we've got the light, the control box, well, the bag, the cables that connect the control box to the wall outlet, and a cable from the control box to the light itself. And last but not the least is this reflector with a Bowens mount, as also I think I forgot to mention that this light, the G200, has a Bowens type of mount. Back to the video. Now let me show you how to control the actual light with this control box. We won't be using this. I have two of these. What I'll actually control is the light that I'm using right now. So I'm using a G200 with a softbox right now, and I'll show you we have two controls here. So this is the dim control and this is the temperature control. Now, if we dial this down all the way to 0, then you can see I have no light anymore. So let's put this back up to, I was at 80%. There you go. And this other knob is for the color temperature. Right now, I'm at 5200 Kelvin. We can make that warmer, or we can make it cooler. All right, let's put it back to 5200 Kelvin. And these are also actually buttons, not just knobs. So if you push the dim button, it will go in increments of 20. So right now I'm at 100, 0, 20, 40, 60, and we're back to 80. So same thing with the color temperature. If you press it, it will jump a couple of units. I don't know, what is it, 500 Kelvin, every 500 Kelvin? I don't know what the unit is, but it's, yeah, it jumps a certain number of units. So let me put this back, 5,200, there you go. Now currently I am in the normal mode, but if I press down on the button of the color temperature, I will go into music mode. What is music mode? I'll show you. So we are in music mode. And what this does is that it takes the cue from what it hears. So currently, as you can see, the light is basing on what it hears from my voice. I'm getting kind of dizzy with this mode right now. So let us go back to normal mode. Again, music mode, personally, I don't think I have a use case for that, but if you are shooting, I don't know, a music video wherein you want the lights to match the sounds, the music that you're shooting, then I think that's one use case. Personally, I don't think I'll be using this mode. But there's one mode that I think is more useful to a lot of people, and this is a surprise because, as I've said, this is a 200 watt light. But this light has a trick up its sleeve. Because if I hold both the dim control and the color temperature knob at the same time, we go into max mode. So right now, let me just fix the color temperature. So right now, I am using this light at 300 watts. Yes, this light can output 300 watts of light. And as you can see, I'm now overexposed. But yeah, there's a 300 watt light. And when you are in the 300 watt light mode, the fans kick in more because of, you know, more power, more heat generation. Therefore, the fans will have to work more. And when you are in this mode, Zhiyun has said that you will automatically go back to the normal mode if it reaches a certain temperature to prevent it from overheating. So let's go back to the normal mode. There you go. And I just heard the fan shut down immediately after I went into normal mode, and we are still bright. Let me bring this back to 80. All right, again, as I've told you, you can control the light in two ways, either with this control box or the app. If you're using the app, it's easy. You just download the app from whatever marketplace your phone has. And if you are already in the app, you just create a set, rename the set, and then add your light into this set. It's that easy, and you will have the same controls that you have on the control box and more, because here you have presets. You can use these presets if you are on the go and you actually like what the presets are, and I think this is more flexible than the control box when it comes to the options. But for me, I like physical buttons, physical controls. So what I do is I just hang this on my light stand and I control the light from there. And right now I can even control the light because this has a very, very long cable with it. Now, when it comes to the size of this light, at first I was excited because it was so compact. And I said, oh, this will minimize the footprint in my studio. However, I realized that I am using the same sized soft boxes or modifiers with this light. So when it comes to the space that it occupies, it's not that much different. Where it's different though is in its weight. Since it is like, I don't know, at least half the size of the other more conventional lights, then the weight is lighter than those other lights. And I think this will be more advantageous for when you're rigging this like high into the ceiling. It's less anxiety that something may fall off because it weighs just 1 kilogram. Now, if you are using smaller modifiers, then that's where the advantage of the G200 is when it comes to, you know, the overall space that it occupies in your studio. Now, the G200 is priced at $379 US, which is not cheap, but I don't think it's on the expensive side as well, especially since this is actually a 300-watt light and not just a 200-watt light. Especially since it has a separate control box, I think the price is just right for what this light can do. So would I recommend the Zhiyun Molus G200? Well, most definitely. I think the lightweight form factor of this light is an advantage, especially if you don't have heavy-duty light stands or boom arms in your studio's rig. But you're still getting that power of a 200-watt or a 300-watt light in that small form factor. How about you? I'm curious, what do you think of this Molus G200? Is the size actually beneficial, or is the form factor a little bit gimmicky since you really can't bring this out into the field? Let me know in the comments section below. Now, if you want to check out other videos here on my channel, please do check them out here.